great tool. It'll bring you those warnings. Just make sure that your phone's not on silent tonight. I know that's counterintuitive, but you really do want to be able to get any warnings that do develop during the overnight hours, just in case we do see one of those spin-ups. Right now, though, I'm going to start us off talking about the flood threat that we're going to see as we head throughout today. So most of our viewing area is, in fact, under a flood watch as we go through tomorrow morning at 7 a.m., and that's due to the excessive rain that we've been seeing. We've already had reports of an inch to an inch and a half of rain already in the North Metro, and particularly in northwest Georgia, where 2 to 3 inches of rain has been possible and actually been seen as well. So it's definitely something that we're going to see as we go throughout the day. Meanwhile, here's how much more rain. So this is not rain totals. This is what we could expect to see in addition to what we have already been seeing. So for folks in Rome who have seen almost 2 inches of rain already, another 2.5 inches of rain are possible before all this is said and done. And really that's what we're going to be seeing. So North Georgia, another 2 to 3 inches of rain out of this. For the metro area, 1.5 to 2.5 inches of rain. And then South Metro, another inch or two of rain is going to be possible depending on where the heaviest bands set up. So again, we're looking for a lot of areas, particularly in North Georgia, seeing a month's worth of rain in just a 36-hour period. That's the reason we've had that flash flood potential and that flood watch issued as we go throughout today and on into tonight, because really a lot of the heavier steady rain is going to move in tonight. Most of us actually going to see a little bit of a break in the rain today into the evening hours, so that's some great news there. I want to also dive into a little bit why we're so cold. So basically we have a wedge that's set up across the eastern portion of the country, and that'll happen when we have a high pressure system either in New England, the mid-Atlantic, or in this case off the shore of the Atlantic Ocean. And what that does is it filters cold air in a clockwise direction around it. Well, the mountains are in the way, the Appalachian Mountains, that is. So what happens is they block that cold air from continuing over into the Midwest, and it funnels it down into our area. Now, depending on how strong that high pressure system is, that's how far south the air will go. This particular high is extremely strong, and you can see that by just how cool it is and how far south that wedge is. And you can see that one of two ways. We'll go over both of them. First, you can see it by the winds. Anywhere you see an easterly wind or a northerly wind, such as Atlanta, Macon, Augusta, Savannah, Charleston, that's where we see that wedge in place. Where we have the southerly wind, Dothan, Albany, Brunswick, that's where we don't. Now the problem is that boundary between the two, if we have an active system like we have today, well, that boundary can set the stage for isolated tornadoes, because basically that warm air and that cold air are clashing and the winds are going in different directions in the atmosphere, causing a lot of shear. That's the issue. Is tonight we're expecting that warmer air to begin to push back up in towards the Atlanta metro area. So by 2 o'clock, everybody under the wedge. Notice though, by 7, 8, 9 o'clock, those warmer temperatures start to creep up. Look at that. LaGrange, 66 degrees, Atlanta 42. That's almost a 25 degree difference in the temperature between Atlanta and LaGrange. And that 66 is going to be warm enough to get some thunderstorms going and the potential for that severe weather. Thomaston by 3 o'clock in the morning, we're talking 66. Jonesboro, 63. But Covington at 49, Atlanta at 52. I-20 is really going to be that boundary zone between the warm air and the cooler air. In essence, also the boundary between the more stable air, that's the cooler air with the steady rain, and the more unstable air, which is where we're going to see that potential for thunderstorms and severe weather. So here's the outlook from the SPC, the Severe Prediction Center. We're looking at most of the metro area under a low end risk, a 1 out of 5. But west side, southwest side, you are at a 2 out of 3. The other thing we've been watching, it's not for our area, but this 3 out of 5 down here in Alabama has been slowly creeping north and slowly creeping east. So while it doesn't affect us yet, if that trend continues, we may see that move into Troup County, down in towards LaGrange, over towards Spalding County and Griffin. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but that's been the trend, so we're going to watch that. But right now, I think the greatest potential for severe weather overnight is going to be Randolph County over in Alabama. So we're talking Wedowee, Lineville, over into Woodland, back over towards LaGrange, Noonan, Palmetto, Coweta County, Spalding, Griffin, Peachtree City, Fayette County, and southward. I think that's where we're going to see the best potential for severe weather overnight. I think Carroll, Douglas, South Fulton, Clayton County, Henry County, I think you're going to be on that borderline. So I'm not ruling it out. You do have the potential. I don't think it's going to be as high, though, as what we're going to see farther down towards the south. So there's that little area that I just talked about circled in the red there. I think that's where we have the greatest potential for severe weather. Meanwhile, as we go into timing this all out, I'm going to pause this here as we go into the evening, 6 o'clock tonight. Notice the steadier rain is off to the north. We're talking Rome, Ellijay, Canton, over towards Helen, Gainesville, up into Rabun and Habersham counties. Atlanta may be getting a breakout of this. South Metro may be getting a breakout of this. That's another reason we're thinking that the northern part of the state is going to be seeing the higher rain totals. They're not getting the break from the rain. Pushing through overnight, though, heavy rain returns to the region. By 9 o'clock, northwest Georgia, no matter where you are, heavy, steady rains. Keep in mind, this is when that warmer air is starting to push up from the south, and that's when we're going to really see that severe potential. So really from 10 p.m. tonight all the way. And notice this doesn't clear us until we get to about 4 o'clock tomorrow morning. And the reason it's so slow is this system is pushing up against the wedge. They're fighting for each other. So instead of just racing through here like a typical cold front will do, that wedge is going to give it a struggle, and that's going to cause it to slow down a bit and unfortunately give us even more rain out of this system. The good news, though, is I think by the time we get into 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, again, most of us should see a dry commute in terms of rain, so nothing falling from the sky. The roads, though, will still be wet. They will still be slick, so give yourself some time to get to work tomorrow morning. It's still going to be a little bit on the messy side. Meanwhile, as we head into the overnight hours for tonight, just kind of give you a summary here. Heavy rain. Isolated storms mainly to the south. Temperatures hovering right around 50 in town. But again, I want to emphasize, and I'll go back to the model here, it really depends on where you are as to what temperature you're going to see. Anyone north of 20, it's going to be cool. It's going to be windy. The wind chills are going to be in the upper 30s to lower 40s. South of 20, it's going to be mild, almost warm compared to what we saw today with temperatures in the mid to upper 60s. Heck, at 3 a.m., LaGrange could be pushing close to 70 degrees. So it really goes to show you just how powerful this system is, how powerful that wedge is, and where you are really matters with this storm system into the overnight hours. Now, tomorrow, it clears the air for everyone. We're talking this system is gone. We're going to see dry, clearing skies. So clouds in the morning, sunshine by the afternoon. You see that 20% chance of rain there? Yeah, that's mainly the morning, south of 20. By the afternoon, no rain. Sunny skies. Temperatures, though, in the mid-50s. So a little warmer than today and actually about average for this time of year and really exactly what we're going to see on Valentine's Day, which is Friday. The good news is, though, we should dry out by then in terms of the roads and everything. So any plans you have with your sweetheart on Friday should be going off without a hitch. And then by Saturday, unfortunately, we're still in an unsettled weather pattern. We're going to see another chance of showers, particularly late in the day, overnight, and then Sunday early morning, where we have that 70% chance of storms in the morning hours. Now, Sunday morning is a first alert weather day because we're already watching out for the potential of another round of severe weather to impact North Georgia. We're definitely going to be keeping an eye on that here in the first alert weather team. And once that's done, we'll finally start to clear things out. Monday and Tuesday, maybe get another chance of rain in here as we head into Wednesday. So that is your wrap up. We're going to be back here at 3 o'clock and really have continuous coverage for the evening hours. And any other questions, just hit us up on social media.